Assalamu alaikum. It is Sunday, April 8th. Happy Easter to any Christian viewers or just people in general. Easter's the next time. With Sunday, which means you get me. I know you're so excited about that. So, I kind of want to make this quick because I kind of have to get out of here, and I want to keep the time limit low because I rambled. So, there's that. So this week, the theme is, does living in the West, or the U.S. in general, let me switch that, does living in the U.S. or the West in general make it easier or harder for you to stick to your beliefs, both personal and religious? And I am going to say yes. It makes it harder. That doesn't mean it has to be hard to live here and be Muslim, but it makes it a lot harder. Especially as I'm like a 16-year-old girl living in America, and you see all these things kind of pushed at you as the norm, like whether it be drugs or whatever, and sometimes you just have to like remind yourself, like, that's not me, and like, that's not what was intended for me to do here on this earth. So yeah, it's like I have enough willpower, but it kind of gets to the point where I kind of stop and I think, don't I want to fit in? Like, I want to fit in. Everybody wants to fit in some way or another. And my beliefs kind of like set me apart. And sometimes I like that. I sometimes like being special and different like that. But then some days I'm just like, I get tired. That doesn't mean I just go out and drink, but it's kind of like I feel like it's just not as carved up as it should be, if that makes any sense. But I do try my hardest to adhere to my beliefs, and since I don't wear hijab, I try to be modest in other ways. I haven't fixed my potty mouth though, but that there's always room for change. I'm growing. I'm 16, so lots of time. But yeah, if I had any advice to give people, young Muslims that are living in America or the West and kind of find it hard, just sit and just pray and just read the Quran. It's like reading the Quran kind of sets you right in the best way, because you kind of, if you're by yourself, then it just feels really good to just read it and kind of take it all in again. Like, sometimes when I read the Quran, I kind of act like it's my first time reading it, and it's just, you get so much more out of it. And you should always try to read it in a researching way. You should never just try to read it at face value, because in my belief, I think the Quran, you can find things in the literal sense, but most of the time it's definitely metaphorical, and you should have the brains, and you should want to have the brains to kind of figure it out. And the Quran just involves you in that sense, and inshallah, I feel very blessed to be able to use my intellectual talents to help me out in the way I deal with religion and beliefs and rituals and stuff like that. I'm really blessed. I'm really grateful for that. And I'm just grateful for parents that encourage me to find different ways of interpretation in it. So my Islam is my Islam. So I don't feel like if the West norms are kind of crashing down on me, I don't feel like I'm betraying my parents' Islam. It's like my Islam. So it kind of makes it more personal, and it encourages me to try to stay on the right path because it's my interpretation of it. So yeah. So next week I'll definitely give a detailed report on all the things I did in DC, all the pictures and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure at one point I'm going to burst into tears because it's just going to be so overwhelming. I'm really, really excited about the Congress Library, or Library of Congress. I have no idea how that goes. Oh wait, I have the itinerary of where we're going. And we go on the Legends of Alexandria tour. That's fun. It's really cool. We're staying at the Sheraton. I'm not really familiar with it, but I hear it's a good hotel. We're going to the National Archives in Capitol Hill. And I told my friend going to learn Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill, waiting